Okay, the kids have opened the first couple of windows in their Advent calendar, so it's the perfect time to talk about what Advent really means. Fortunately, the author of The Light Before Christmas, a family Advent devotional, is with us. Marty Machowski, welcome to Christmas Spirit 105.3. I have heard about a very classic children's story called The Night Before Christmas, but until I met you, I didn't know about The Light Before Christmas. What is it?
Well, The Light Before Christmas is a family Advent devotional that talks about the biblical theme of light as a way to talk about the coming of Jesus. Jesus said that he's the light of the world, and John describes him as the light coming in his gospel.
And there are so many pictures at Christmas of light, and you paint these throughout your book, right?
I do. I love the idea that the glory of the angels shone before the shepherds when they came, and that the wise men followed the star,
Yes.
another light. So, the Christmas is filled with light imagery.
And I feel like light is such a symbol of hope. Marty, you're a pastor as well as an author, right?
Yes, that is correct.
So, Marty, could you take us a little deeper into Advent? I'm sure there's someone listening this morning who's not really familiar with it, and others who they know the word, they know there are some pink and purple candles involved, but what does it really mean?
Well, Advent is the arrival or the coming. And so all of the Old Testament is forecasting the coming of a king, the coming of a great prophet, the coming of a son in the line of Adam and Abraham and David, this deliverer, this Messiah. And so when we celebrate Advent, we're celebrating his coming. That's Jesus being born in a manger in Bethlehem, the coming of the king.
That is just so beautiful. And it really is a way to quiet your spirit during the busiest season of the year. I feel like we get so caught up in that. Don't you think it's such a beautiful way to observe the real meaning of Christmas?
Well, the real meaning of Christmas is why we celebrate Christmas, and it's been lost in our culture. So people will decorate with Christmas lights. They will put them on outside their house, they put them on their tree, they give away presents, but they don't realize that where did this idea of gifts come from? The greatest gift, God sending his son Jesus to be born as the light of the world, is why we do what we do at Christmas time. But it's important to not forget why we celebrate.
Oh, Marty, you're a dad and a grandpa. So how do you explain the real meaning of Christmas to the kids in your life who you love?
Well, kids pick up on it right away if they see a manger scene, for example. And they're all familiar with manger scenes. Christians set them up in their homes. And so we've got a Playmobil manger scene. And so our kids love, and now our grandkids love to have that pulled out of the attic when it gets close to Christmas. And when we decorate, we set up a manger scene. We have hand-carved figures from Germany that we purchased, and they're very precious, and we bring them out. And we put the baby Jesus there in the middle of the shepherds and the wise men and the sheep. And the kids just love. And then we tell them the story. They look at the objects, the characters in that manger scene, and we tell them the story. And that story, the Bible says the gospel is the power for salvation. It is what changes our lives. Well, we hope will change their lives.
And, we all kind of become kids at Christmas. We love the twinkling tree lights. We love to open presents, even as grown-ups. And isn't that so apropos? Because I know Jesus wants us to come to him just like a little kid would.
Well, that's what Jesus said. If anyone wants to follow me, he must become like a little child. And that is believing and trusting. Life is challenging. There's a lot of difficult times. Not everybody's celebrating happy times at Christmas. But we can all remember Jesus and find our hope and our help, not in what this world offers, but in what the world to come offers. Jesus says, don't store up your treasure here, store it up in heaven. Where is our hope? Our hope is not that this world is going to satisfy. Our hope is in the world which Jesus came to offer us, an eternal kingdom is what is ultimately going to satisfy.
Oh, that's wonderful. I'm picturing families reading your devotional, The Light Before Christmas, Marty, and it doesn't have to be in a perfect setting with, cookies that you baked hours before and cocoa made with real milk bubbling on the stove. I mean, Christmas is for the imperfect, right? For all of us to remember how loved we are. Isn't that true?
It is, and quite frankly, I'm a pastor. I wrote devotionals for families, but I'm the one who can gather my family, and whenever my two sons start poking each other, get angry and say, we're supposed to be doing devotions. And then realize, oh, no, Lord. But here's what's so wonderful. God brings together imperfect people. He doesn't say that we have to deliver this message perfectly, but he gives us the perfect message to deliver. And if we share that Jesus Christ came as a baby to live a sinless life and die in our place and rose again from the dead, the message of Christmas through Easter, that is what God promises through those scriptures can change our children's lives.
Oh, you've given so much hope today. Marty Machowski, author of The Light Before Christmas. So thankful for your time, and I'm so pleased to know you.
Thanks so much for having me on your show.